Hi there, welcome to nightlenses.com chat, where we chat to people who are night lens wearers to give those who considering ideas of what it's all about. We've got an interesting one today. I've got a serving police officer. We're calling him John for the sake of this, for anonymous for obvious reasons. And so John's been wearing day contact lenses for years, and recently switched to night lenses. He's been using for 3 months now. And look, he's going to come on and talk about why essentially he'll recommend to serving officers day lenses as an option if they're right for them. Day lenses are for people who have -5 myopia, short sight or less. I think it's going to be very interesting just to give a view of the type of work that he used to do. You can't see him through the blackout there, but he's heading towards 50 now. He won't like me saying that, but he's mid to late 40s, and so he's looking back and reflecting. So hi John. Yes, and thanks for joining us. So look, you're 3 months in. So tell me, what's it been like with night lenses? Do you like them? Do you love them? What's the story?
Well, I'll start by saying I wish I'd known about these years and years ago. When I found out about them, I couldn't believe they were something you could get. No optician had ever told us. And since I've had them, after the first couple of weeks when they got settled down, you sort of forget that you even have bad eyesight, because there's no point of the day when I can't see properly. Whereas when I had my day lenses, I would take them out and I couldn't see. But now, at all points you can see. It's nice to not even be aware that I'm wearing them. Where my day lenses, I was constantly aware of them if I was on my bike in the rain, or if the kids were going swimming or the beach or anything like that. I was constantly aware of them and trying to be careful that I didn't knock them out or something like that.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know how the night lenses work, you put them in at night when you go to sleep. The process is called orthokeratology, where during the night it corrects your eyes. You wake up and you take the lens out, and that's you done for the day. You have no need for glasses or day lenses, and you have perfect sight. So you are normal. You walk around normal. So what you're saying, you've got the freedom now. You're feeling free, and so it's a weird type of feeling. But has it added difference to life? I know we were talking. You said about when you went swimming, it was a whole different world, right?
Well, that's the biggest change. It was when I've been reluctant to go swimming, purely because I can't see properly, and it's very, very annoying. Anybody that needs specs will know what I mean. If you're not wearing anything, it's just annoying that you can't see clearly. And the first time I went, I've been swimming in the last 3 months more than I have done in the last 10 years, probably. But it was a bit, the best way to put it was, the first time I got a pair of specs and I put them on, and I was amazed at how clear everything was. It's just the same as when I went in the pool and I could see everything, even with my goggles underwater. It was just like a whole new world.
Wow. And look, so talk about your job. So what was the job that you were in? What role were you in the police?
Well, until very recently, I've been in TSG for 13 years.
Right. And it's quite an active role. So it's focusing on looking at where the day lenses were, and I think looking back, saying the difference if you were wearing night lenses now, looking back, what sort of things were you involved in where lenses either could have been a problem or were a problem, and if you had your time again, you wouldn't have?
Well, TSG is a frontline role, which is sort of earlys and late shifts. And involved in that is public order, so riots, Saturday night in city kind of thing, searching houses, buildings, things like that. And one of my aspects was CBRN, which is the chemical, biological, radioactive, and nuclear role, which is wearing the big suits. So in that, one of the big things was when we were searching, which was most of the work, if you were anywhere dusty or in a loft, especially a loft with a felt in, it's very easy to get stuff in your eye, and the contact lenses always aware of it. Even wearing goggles that they provide, it wasn't enough to keep the grit, dust, particles, etc., out your eye. And then you wanted to wipe your eye, and then you felt the discomfort in your lens. Sometimes, which was a common thing, was wiping your eye when you were tired or you had something like that. Knocking the lens into the side of your eye is awful. For a soft lens I used to wear, it was the most awful pain. And when you're in the middle of an operational job, you can't afford to do that. Which had happened when I was driving a couple of times at night. When you're tired, your eyes get dry and you wipe your eyes. And I knocked them out when I was driving, and that is the worst time for it to happen.
In terms of the operational side, if you're talking about, and I'm not in the police or emergency services, but I'm picturing the time when things start to get a bit violent, where you are in a situation with whatever's happening in front of you. You've got a day lens in. Is there every concern that if that gets knocked, that there's going to be a problem? And of course, should you be going in that situation without a day lens in, you're just wearing night lenses and not having it, that just solves that problem?
Yeah, well, it would have made the peace of mind. As I say, you're sort of constantly aware you've got the lenses in. Even after 25 years of wearing lenses, I was always aware that I had them in, and you're always sort of desperately hoping that you're not going to get one knocked out. So whether you got punched or it was even just in a scuffle or anything like that, or even in the rain, you worried about it. And it was just now, if I'd had these night lenses, it would have been the peace of mind, because you just forget that you have even wear lenses. So it's just that peace of mind when you're going out.
But then also the rest of your life, I know you're saying that you keep fit and you do things. So are you finding now that it's a lifestyle thing? So we find that often with night lens, whereas out of work, you've got people who play rugby. You say it's fantastic. I can jump on the ground and rub my face in the dirt, and going to dislodge. People obviously going swimming. You mentioned that before. Water sports, all those kind of things. Are you finding in your personal life being active that there's a bonus to them as well?
Yes, well, again, since I've had the night lenses, I've been out cycling, and in the autumn, obviously, it's wet, wet on the roads. And the first time I went out, I got splashed by the guy I was with, who was in front of us, and I got splashed in my face. And the first thing that crossed my mind was, I don't want to get water in my eyes, because anybody that knows have soft lenses knows the dangers of getting water in your eyes. And then I realised I didn't have to worry about that anymore. It was such a relief.
And you mentioned also with you're out on your bike and saying something about you saw a bird in the sky, a hawk or something like that, and
yeah, I've noticed that my prescription hasn't changed, but my long distance sight seems to have improved. So as I was telling you, when I was out and I saw a peregrine falcon from miles away, in a clarity that I hadn't had for probably since I was 10.
And the idea of this interview particularly is, we're going to put it out to show people, but we're hoping to get it out to police officers and other emergency workers. So, why would you recommend that they consider night lenses? What's your recommendation on that?
It just gives you peace of mind that you're not worrying about a lens being knocked out. You're not worrying about CS or Parva or whatever your force uses getting in your eyes, which has happened to me in the past with CS. With a CBRN thing, you're not allowed to wear soft lenses, so that you have to have these little night vision correction equipment things, which are a pain. You don't worry about getting assaulted, well, as in relation to your eye, obviously. It's just the peace of mind, and you can just get on with your job better without worrying about it. How people would wear specs when they're in my job, I have no idea. But if you can wear these, it's much, much, much better.
It's interesting. After a while, night lens wearers often sort of think back to then a day lens wearer, and the concept of putting a lens in your eye first thing when you get up and then taking it out is a weird concept. Are you at that stage yet?
Oh yeah, I would never ever go back to. I just can't. it's just like a no-brainer. It's just better in every way I can think of.
Brilliant. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And yeah, and hopefully this is of use to other people who are thinking about it. So listen, if you're after any more advice and information, or indeed you want to see some more interviews, then head on to nightlenses.com. Thank you.